Tropical islands. For a lot of tourists around the world, they are often the most sought after holiday destinations. People visit these islands for their amazing climate with year-round sunshine and pleasant temperatures. But what I wanted to find out, what is it actually like to live in these countries? And so, I spent a few days in Vanuatu, a tropical island country in the Pacific. Vanuatu is an archipelago and has a total of 83 islands, and I was going to be staying on the island of Itafe, which is home to the capital city, Port Vila. So I'm going to be spending the next 4 days here. I've got a little villa which is about half an hour away from the main capital city of Port Vila. In fact, I'm actually staying in quite a rural part of the main island here in Vanuatu, which is known as Itafe. In fact, I'm actually staying right by the ocean, but it's nighttime now, so I'll show you guys that tomorrow morning. But first, let me give you a quick tour of my villa. So this is the villa. This is definitely too much for one person, but let me give you a quick tour. So we've got the little bedroom over here. The toilet is through there. Got a massive TV over here. And then the whole kitchen space over here. And then there's like a little utilities room around the corner over there. But by far the best thing about this villa is its location, like I said, which is right by the ocean. And I'll show you guys that tomorrow morning. Right guys, I literally got here about half an hour ago, so I'm gonna settle down and have an early night. I'll see you guys tomorrow for my first proper day here in Vanuatu. Good morning everyone, it's my first proper day here in Vanuatu. And as I promised last night, let me show you what the outside of my villa looks like. And this is the view I have, it's absolutely gorgeous. That bay leads right into the Pacific Ocean. It looks so beautiful and tranquil. I've got my own little private beach down there, which I'll definitely be making use of at some point during my time here in Vanuatu. And apparently there's also like a little reef around here as well that you can snorkel around. And there's some snorkeling gear inside the villa, so I might do that as well. But yeah, hopefully you guys can appreciate how just peaceful and beautiful it is around here. The main reason for me wanting to stay here is that if you've been watching my previous videos, you'll know that I spent 5 weeks going through New Zealand. And whilst I had the most amazing time, it was quite tiring. There was a lot of driving involved, lots of exploring, lots of hiking and so on. So I feel like I needed a few days to just switch off and relax. And this is like the perfect location for it. And this is what the outside of the villa looks like. I've even got my own hammock over there. You know what? Let's get in there now. I can't lie. I'm not usually someone who likes sitting by the pool and going on like relaxing beach type holidays. But I could get used to this. It's not a bad life. So there's a bit of an interesting route here down to the beach surrounded by these plants and these trees. I think these are papaya trees. I'm not entirely sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, you never see exotic fruits like this in Europe. I've made it down to the beach. Well, I say beach, it's a very small beach. But then again, I have this whole thing to myself, which is crazy. There's literally no one around here. So I'm not sure how well this is going to come up on camera. There's actually quite a lot of fish in this little pondy thing over here. Interestingly, there's actually like a very bright blue fish. Again, I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, gotta say, very unique wildlife in this part of the world. So I'm staying in a place called Narport Point here in Vanuatu, which is about a half an hour drive from the main capital city, Port Vila. And when I say I'm in a very rural place, I am in a very, very rural place. The two houses surrounding the villa I'm staying in are holiday homes for people who live in Australia. So yeah, there's literally no one about. In fact, there's no shops about here as well. So I had to buy some groceries on the way to the villa here yesterday. So if I run out of food, I am screwed. It's currently midday here in Vanuatu, so it's very, very hot. So I'm gonna go inside into the shade, do a bit of work, and then we'll come out again when it's sunset. I got a good amount of work done. The time is now 5 p.m. So what I thought I'd do is that the villa I'm staying in has a decent amount of books. So I'm gonna grab one of those books, sit in the hammock and watch the sunset. And because it's sunset, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to make a time lapse. Good morning everyone, it's another beautiful day here in Vanuatu. Now, there are many things in life that I can't do, but one very important thing that I'm not very good at is cooking. And being here in the middle of nowhere means that I've had to cook most of my meals. Yes, I can follow a recipe and whatnot, but I'm not that great at it. and I don't really like cooking. I try and avoid it if I can. So apparently there's like a resort which is about a 45-minute walk away, and it's got a few restaurants. So I thought I'd walk to the resort today, eat at one of the restaurants, and explore the local area whilst I'm at it. So apparently the resort is a straight walk down this road. Now, this is what most of the roads are like here in Vanuatu. They're all unpaved. And whilst this one isn't too bad, most of them have got lots of potholes in them. So if you are planning to rent a car around here, be very careful when you drive. You're probably going to need a 4x4 of sorts. Here's an example of a pothole on this road. To be honest, this isn't that bad. I saw a lot worse on the taxi ride down to where I'm staying from the airport. I gotta say, whilst this is a relatively peaceful and beautiful walk so far, there's a few issues. Number one, it's incredibly hot. I don't know if you can tell, but I am sweating so much. And secondly, probably the more dangerous issue, shall we say, there's a lot of stray dogs about, and they look rather menacing. So yeah, try not to get too close to them. The road has got a lot narrower and the vegetation has become a lot more lush and a lot greener, which probably means it's prime mosquito zone. So the actual resort is a further 5 minutes down the road, but I've come to the Saltwater Beach Club and they seem to do pizza. And it's been a while since I had one, so let's go inside and have some pizza. I went for the pepperoni pizza, which was 1,700 Vaatu. This is the equivalent to about £10.50. Considering the size of the pizza, I thought this was pretty decent value. That was pretty good pizza, quite spicy as well, exactly the way I like it. I was actually the only customer in the whole restaurant. I was speaking to the owners, who are two expats from Australia who've moved over here. And they were saying it usually only gets busy on the weekends when people from the resort come down. So like I said, this restaurant is part of a beach club, and I've come down to the beach, which is just behind me. I feel like it'd be rude to come all this way and not see the beach, right? The beach out here isn't the most sandiest of beaches in the world. It's more like fine sand mixed with a lot of small rocks. I feel like if you're walking bare feet on this, it would actually be quite painful. So you can see in the distance over there, separating the waves breaking and the beach is this rocky area. I'm assuming we're not at high tide at the moment, and at high tide, the waves will be breaking right onto the beach. So I'm literally on this beach by myself. If you look in the distance over there, there's no one over there. And if I pan around on this side as well, there's also no one over there. I feel like Vanuatu is one of the best places in the world if you just want to like log off and switch off from the digital world and just have some peace and quiet. Whilst it's amazing being here on the beach by myself, the time is now 4:30, so I'm going to start making a walk back to the villa because sunset is in half an hour and I don't fancy walking in the dark. As you probably saw, there's no street lights in this part of the world. So walking in pitch black, I don't fancy that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for the third and final day here in Vanuatu. Good morning, everyone. It's another beautiful day here in Vanuatu. I had a great lie-in today morning, and today I thought I'd go for a wander in the opposite direction I went to yesterday. Now, if you've watched this whole video, you'll probably realise I haven't actually explored much of Vanuatu. I've kind of been restricted to this one area, and most of what I've done is just lounge around and just walk around. And that's because I can't really. As you can imagine, in this part of the world, there's no public transport. I mean, look around me. And it's not like I can call an Uber as well. So I have to rely on my 2 feet to get anywhere, which means I'm very limited to where I can go. But that's okay, because the primary reason I came to Vanuatu was just to rest up. I spent 5 weeks road tripping around New Zealand. If you haven't already, make sure you watch the whole playlist. Some amazing videos from New Zealand. But yeah, I spent 5 weeks road tripping around the country, which, whilst it was amazing, it was quite tiring. And I feel like I needed a few days here in the middle of nowhere to just rest and recuperate before I continue on with my travels. So you might be able to see on the distance over there is a road, and that's the main road, which if you go leftwards down it leads to Port Vila, which is the capital city of Vanuatu. And whilst I could walk down that road, it's a very dusty road and lots of lorries and trucks come down it. So if you're walking down it, you're basically asking to inhale a lot of dust and you're probably going to develop all kinds of mad diseases. Well, the road I was on has abruptly stopped. Let's turn around and go the other way. So that walk didn't quite go to plan. Let's head back to the villa and just chill in the hammock for a bit. I've made it back to the villa and I'm just chilling in the hammock at the moment. I think there's someone out there in the ocean fishing at the moment. But yeah, whilst there isn't a lot to do in this part of Vanuatu, you have to admit, this is probably one of the most tranquil settings you can be in. So I'm going to chill here for a bit and then go inside and do some cooking. My flight out of Vanuatu is quite early tomorrow morning, so I guess this is my last full day here in the country. And also, I guess it's a good time to end this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video of me spending a few days in the tropical paradise that is Vanuatu. Yes, I haven't done much exploring, but I've done plenty of relaxing, and I now feel re-energized to continue on with my travels. Now, I know Vanuatu is quite a hard country to get to, but honestly, if you guys make it out here, I guarantee you'll have a great time. I hope you guys are doing well, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.